Just a case of better late than never. I think everything is fine now. Like I installed the OBS update last week and it kind of like messed up a couple of settings, seemingly. So too bad. Here we are. Welcome. So, yeah, we start a new project today. It's fun. So, let me just jump right in and give you like a little bit of intro what we're going to do here. And hi, Steve, of course. Um, let's quickly see. Let me select the stream here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, cool, perfect. Then let's jump to the browser and quickly look at this project here. So this is the Satsuma 180, and it's a build or like a printer design by Squirrel Brain, who designed this machine initially, and it's no longer under development or it's no longer maintained. But I think that's like a really cool project for us to build here and then potentially also improve a bit and make like a V1.1 later on. Hi, Rush, welcome. So yeah, this is the printables page. I also linked it in the description. I basically got everything that is listed, or like there's a Fusion file. We can look at that in a hot second. And I forgot to open one thing. I actually made a bomb. Let me quickly check if I can export PDF. Let me quickly show it to you. Here we go. Oops, can I open that in Chrome, please? Chrome doesn't like this. Here we go. So I made basically like a full bomb from the Fusion 360 file, which took quite a bit of effort, to be honest. But this is every single nut, screw, and electrical part that is an entire build. So it's a very undocumented machine, of course. It's just like a community design. So it will be way less straightforward building this compared to like Voro, where you just have a manual, you flip through. You have a very nice bomb. You have a big community behind that. There's no community behind that at the moment. So yeah, that will be like a bit more challenging, but more challenging is more fun. Let's quickly jump to the Fusion. Wow, Steve, thank you. 3 weeks of waiting. Thank you very, very much. You quadrupled my YouTube earnings for this month, basically. More. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is the Fusion. I kind of recolored that in the color scheme, roughly, that I plan to do. Or that I start printing. I am not done printing all the parts yet, unfortunately, which will hamper us a little bit. The 2.4 has a bit of a bad time at the moment. I'm not quite sure why, but I get I have a sample right now. No, trash them all. For some reason, the nozzle is constantly clogging. I think it has something to do with like it's just like heat soaking the heat break, and at some point the filament is getting molten or like soft at the top end of the heat break, and then the print fails. I'm not quite sure why it suddenly happens because I mean I printed like it's actually heavy. Okay, I need to answer that. There it is. I'm gonna stop here. Okay. I printed like a lot of parts. The big ones are actually printed on the ender wire. But all the parts here on the side, they're all printed on 2.4, and like it worked perfectly until it decided it doesn't work anymore. So I have like, I would say roughly half of the parts are printed. Now actually some screws here that we will need in a hot second. Put them to the side. But not everything. And these big parts, that was like a royal pain to print. I ended up printing them in PLA actually, because like the walls are very thin. And even with PLA, it was quite struggling. Like, I needed external cooling basically to print them properly. I did print some in ABS, but I got like really weird print problems. So you see here, like here is ringing. It's very weird. If I only printed a slice of it, it worked. I also tried supporting the structure here. It had the same like weird ringing. I'm not sure why this didn't work. Like it's not warped per se. Like it's all straight. It just like has this like weird ringing. And then I decided to go with PLA because like each of these parts is like 120 grams of filament. So it's like quite a expensive print to fail. Like I tried 2 times with ABS, and I was like, okay, screw that, PLA it is. I also printed a lot of parts. I was like another fail in Galaxy ASA from Polymaker. And I'm not quite sure if it's my Galaxy PLA or is it like a general issue, but like it just like prints not nice. Like it's like a very weird rough texture, and I think this is just how it is. Like Neo on the Discord confirmed that his prints the same, like with this very like you can see it from here, like it's a very like powder coat-ish texture. So I think this is just how it is. I don't like it, to be honest. So I started printing the parts all in the Novofil ABS X, and that worked pretty much perfectly. So also the green ones are the Novofil ABS X. So I will reprint the ones with the Polymaker, but then I still have the clogging issues, so that's kind of like a bit of a problem at the moment. Park these parts here in the back again. Hi there, Eric. Welcome. Seems like I'm going to be a fun new series. I hope so. Like, I think this will be like a really cool build, just because it's like a lot more challenging than just like building a war by manual. By the way, I found the setting to remove the World of Warcraft crap. Oh, really? There's a setting for that? Tell me where in Discord later, and I'll turn it off for next stream. For 2.4, are you using Dragon Hotend? No, I'm using. I actually tried like a bunch of crap. Like you can check in the Discord in the 2.4 channel. I kind of like reported a bit and got also tips from Steve and from Neo and from Mr. The DSI. So like everyone's trying to help, but like it's just not really happening. So I tried different fans. That was the first thing, like, oh yeah, you have like heat creep. Let's try a different fan. So I tried a fan. I thought like maybe because we swapped the fan, the formboard fan to the Sunon fan, which was 12 volt, maybe that's not cooling enough. So I swapped back to the formboard fan. That didn't help. I tried printing lower temperatures. I tried printing lower bed temperatures. I tried what kind of works is printing without the top panel, that the heat can go out. I tried, I actually tried the Revo hot end from the Endowire. I tried completely transplanting the entire Endowire stealth burner onto the 2.4. Did also not help. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. For some reason we have heat creep, Hydro Loki. But I'm not quite sure. I did order, and they just literally arrived like half an hour ago. I ordered new fans. This is a GDS time fan with 15,000 RPM, because all the fans I have here are like 7,000 RPM, so potentially it's just not enough. And then I have two Honey Badger fans. This one is the Honey Badger Performance series, which has 9,000 RPM and like very high static pressure. And this is the Honey Badger Balance series, which has 7,000 RPM. So I hope that one of these three will solve my problem. This one will be my first try, the Honey Badger Performance series. It actually quite has a cool feature. This white cable here is a fail-safe. When the fan stops spinning, you get a signal on this cable and you can emergency stop the print. So that's quite cool. So hopefully one of these will solve the issue. I'll throw them in tomorrow. and then do some more printing and hope that solves it. Like it's really odd. Like I have no clue why all of the sudden I have these like heat creep issues. Honey Badger are only good for the bin? Well, good that I have the GDS time. I'm actually quite happy with the Honey Badger part cooling fan I have. Like these work really well. I have it now on the Endwire and on the Stealth Burner on 2.4. Hi there, Cookhill. Welcome. So, complete tangent here. Let's jump back to Fusion. So yeah, this is the machine. I kind of colored it as I want to print it, or I start printing it. I'm using a bunch of different filaments here. So I have all the parts for Z are gray. It's like a transparent gray. We have the green accent color parts, of course, and then we have everything that is not Z is black, matte black. So quite a bunch of different filaments, especially because also the backpack is matte black, but I printed in PLA because the ABS was giving like these weird issues. Yeah, on the back this has 4 fans. I will install all 4 fans, but I will run them on like very low RPM. 3 of them will actually be the Formbot fans that we no longer need on 2.4. Hi there, Om. Welcome. Yeah, besides that, so we use mostly the parts from the Poorman Core XY that I took apart. And that was kind of like also the reason why we ended up with this specific machine, because I have the Prusa Mini heat bed from the Poorman. And I kind of want to use that because it's an expensive part. And then I kind of like was looking for different printer designs that use this specific heat bed. And that was like the one I picked. Another cool feature actually that I really like is like there's a spool cradle in the back of the machine. And so basically later, if this would be fully enclosed, you would kind of like dry the filament as you go when you print like in an enclosed chamber. At the moment, this machine doesn't have a top hat or like a top panel. So it's open on the top. It has panels on the side. And what's also funny is it has panels, but actually doesn't have door hinges. So this model is also a little bit of like work in progress. So it's not quite finished. So we need to like, especially the panel stuff, we need to figure out a couple things as we go. Yeah, the tool head is custom. And I think it's quite an interesting design. From the experience I have with the Poorman, I think it's a really good design because it's completely like balanced back and forth, like across this x-axis. So the weight distribution is roughly the same on each side, and that should help a lot with speed and print quality. It uses an orbiter extruder, which I have. I actually bought it a while ago and planned on putting it on the V0, but that never happened. So now I have an orbiter extruder flying around since a while. It uses the Super Pinder probe from the Mini. So this is basically like a project that is, the idea is that you have a Prusa Mini and you want to upgrade the Prusa Mini to like a Core XY machine. So it's a bit like an Ender 3 NG, but like with a Prusa Mini. So we use a lot of like parts that are just like from the Prusa Mini. Yeah, so I actually bought a Super Pinder probe. I never used one, so I'm kind of a bit curious to see how that goes. Then there is the hot end, and this is completely designed around the Bamboo Lab hot end for the X series. And I don't have one. I don't want to buy one, to be honest. So I will try to adapt this tool head to accept a standard V6 mounted tool head. So that will be fun. That's something we need to do before we start printing. Yeah, besides that, it has a tool head board. Like this tool head board is not canvas because again, it's supposed to be, or it's meant to reuse a lot of parts from the Prusa Mini. And the Prusa Mini obviously doesn't run Clipper. It has the custom board from Prusa. So it's kind of like supposed to run on Marlin more or less. And I'm kind of like interested, it's kind of like a thought I had. Technically, Marlin supports the Raspberry 2040 chip by now. So I would be, it's kind of like a thought, I'm not sure if I do it yet. I would be interested to run this machine with Marlin as well. Just like to mix it up a bit. I didn't use Marlin for quite some time, and I think they also developed quite a bit. So it would be fun to see, just to have like one Marlin printer. And in this case, here, what I would use is the tool head from the V0 that originally came with the V0. They also had the same connector here, more or less, so that should be like quite a nice fit. If not, we just do canvas and clipper. So I'm not quite sure. My mind is not yet made up there. Um, yeah, besides that. Oh yeah, one super annoying part, and like I'm like hyper annoyed about that. The belt loops here are like 2 centimeters longer than the belts I cut for the poor man. So it was like literally like missing like 2 centimeters, and because of that I had to buy completely new belts. So yeah, I'm not quite over that yet. Like just like one of these like bad luck situations. Not much you can do. Yeah, that is pretty much like what we're going to build. I really hope that, because I'm a little bit behind now with printing the parts, like I really hope that I can finish the parts, but also was like quite busy the last week, so I didn't have a lot of time to troubleshoot the 2.4. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like what we built. So for today, step one, of course, is the frame. Um, and I have printed all the parts for Z, I think. So we can check at the end if we can start that a bit. I think I printed everything, but this is not 100% confirmed. So maybe we are missing some parts for that. Um, just had to redo my 2.4 belts for stealth changer. Oh, but you can use the same belts, right? You don't have to rebuy the belts. And rest in peace for the belts. Yeah, I hope that I can reuse them at some point. So for example, if I would build like another V0 or something, the belts are long enough for sure. So I'm not going to trash them. It's like one of these things, like I will have them for like 5 years, and at some point they come in handy. Cool. So maybe let's also really just like start getting started stream a little bit. Let's quickly go through the parts that I got and look at the bomb. Mm. So the first thing that's already here on the table, the extrusions. And that was actually quite an experience for me because all printers that I built so far, I had either extrusion kit or I already had the extrusions pre-cut, like in case of the Switchfire. These I ordered, I ordered them cut from a company in Poland, and the result is great. Like I checked them, they're all the same length, like exactly the same length. The cut is very clean, very nice. Two things I had to do, and actually never did that myself. Firstly, we have to tap them because the frame is built with blind joints, and when we have to, I mean, I did already tap them. So you can see there's the taps. I think they work pretty well. Like I was a bit concerned, but like I had a self-centering machine tap, and I worked perfectly. Like no complaints there. And the second thing is I had to do, obviously, is the access holes for blind joints. So I had to drill them. Can you focus, camera? I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, like I see what's happening. 1 second. I have the wrong focus mode. It's the wrong button. Let me quickly change it. I sometimes use my camera actually for non-live stream related stuff. For example, taking pictures of my cat. And then I changed random settings. And unfortunately, there's not really, or maybe there is, but I don't know how, like a way to like reset settings to like certain specific point. There we go. We have focus, I think. So this one, I had to drill all the blind joint holes, and I think I didn't fuck up, but let's see about that. I actually designed 2 jigs to help me with that, because what I don't have in skill with tools, I have to make up with over-engineered jigs. So this one, I use this one only for the 10 millimeter holes here. Said we have focus. Do we have focus? My camera is not cooperating today. Here we go. So this is like just to help me drill straight. I actually had these, I don't know how they're called, like helpers, whatever, already. So I just designed this jig where you can like screw them in with M14 threads. And that basically allowed me to just drill the holes exactly in the same, like in the spot they're supposed to, and straight. So I think they worked really well. I also had one that's just printed. I used that for the 30, 90, and 145, and also for 120. But this one was not as good, especially like if you used it like a couple of times, like I think you got less and less center. The only hole I kind of screwed up is this one here. This is not 100% straight. It works, I think, for us, but it's not perfect. The rest is pretty good. Okay, cool. So that's the extrusions. Let me just park that. This I said, I already showed the printed parts. I have one project box here. So these are the steppers from the Pullman, which are originally from the Ender 3. So it's kind of like a upcycle. These are M6 screws, which we use for the blind joints. These are V-slot extrusions, not T-slot, because it was really hard to get pre-cut T-slot extrusions for some reason. Like, I didn't find the page doing that for me. So the V-slot extrusions, they need to be M6 instead of M5 screws. So everything is like a bit bigger, but works the same. These are completely unrelated. I have no clue why these screws are in here. Then motion system. Also like a bit of annoyance. Like I wanted to build the machine as is and without modifying it. So I had to buy new bearings because on the Pullman we used the bearings with a 3mm bore, but now here we use 5mm bore ones. So these are the same as on the 2.4 or on the Ender Wild. I also got a new set of LM8 UU bearings because we had problems on the Pullman. So I wanted to be sure that we have like good bearings. My cat is like, I tried to power him out, but he's still energetic, hunting his little scrap piece of filament. Okay, then for Z, and I think that's also like something I know from the Pullman now, like the LMU 88 bearings were not good for Z. So here we use LM10LUU, so double length, 10mm inner diameter. So these are all the bearings. I have one box with all the screws I ordered. I also used a couple of screws that we already had from the 2.4 and didn't use, so I kind of like scavenged that. Then we have, that's a heavy one. Another box with a lot of fun stuff. So this is the Super Pinder probe. I most likely will use it, don't like it, and put something else on, so it might have been a bit of a waste of money. One extra 6020 fan. The other three will come from the 2.4. Then this is the power supply from the Pullman again. So this is a LRS 150 24 volt. It should be fine. We used it before on the Pullman. I don't think that's a problem. I think the design technically wants you to use 200 watts power supply, but we make up for it by adding a 5-volt power supply for the Pi and other stuff. So we kind of spread the load a little bit. This is the hot end we used on the Pullman, so potentially we reuse that. Let's see. So, but yeah, I want to have the V6 fitting on the tool head I designed, or adapt the tool head to the V6 fitting. because I also have other hot ends that we can use with the V6 mount. That's just bushings for the rods. Yeah, like tons of rods here. And also we have DIN rails that are used in the electronics bay. Did you have to carry this up here again? It's like really like it's one of his favorite toys. It's just this like scrap piece of filament. It's like, you know, you get like nice toys for a cat, and then like this is what is what's the favorite. This is the power inlet, and this is just like scrap pieces of mechanics from the poor man. I actually have to sort that. But yeah, just as little comparison, these are the bearings we used on the poor man with the 3mm bore. Yep, that's this bag, and I think that's pretty much it besides the heat bag. You really want to play with this here on the table, right? That's your favorite spot now to play. On the table. That's so fun. Grab the bat. So that was also a little bit of like a thing. So this is the part we had from the poor man. So it's just, are you kidding me? You really want to be here? Okay, then be here. This was the heat bed we had from the poor man. And initially I ordered it without the bracket. The problem is now that if you look in the Fusion designs, this printer uses the bed mount. And I think it's quite important because it adds tons of rigidity to the bed. Also something I learned from the poor man, the rigidity of the bed is extremely important for these types of printers. So I ordered that. Initially, it wasn't available on AliExpress. So I was actually like very close to ordering the original one from Prusa, which is like relatively expensive, especially because I have to pay shipping. And then suddenly like it popped up on AliExpress. So I ordered this from AliExpress. I also considered just ordering the part CNC machined from like a random CNC shop. It would have been also cheaper than the Prusa part. I miss all the chat. I have put the electronics bay at the bottom of my printer. I think maintaining would be easier if we were on the back. Yeah, definitely. I can 100% confirm that, especially for big printers. The 2.4 has it on the bottom, and it's not a like light machine. It's like super heavy. And flipping that over to Access Electronics is, yeah, it's not fun. I mean, if the machine is up and running, that's fine. And I think generally you don't have to access electronics that often. But if you have to, it's just heavy and painful. Hi there, Mr. Lidisai. Welcome to the new project. Can you play somewhere else? Let's try again. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's kind of like all the intro stuff I want to get through. So we have the parts, we have the fusion file, extrusions. Yeah, I mentioned Martin is on the table. Let's see if that comes to fruition or not. But I think would be nice. Yeah. I now realize I forgot one part. I have like a very straight engineered wood plate that we used for 2.4 for the frame. First thing coming. Let me quickly grab that, and then we have like a more straight surface than the table here, because I know the table is kind of like bowing down. And then let's try to put this frame quickly together before the cat makes more chaos. Okay, I'll be back in like 60 seconds. Here we go. So this is also what we used for the 2.4, I think, and it worked out pretty well. So for a smaller printer, it should be even better. Cat finally found like a new spot to play. Um, that's why I put rock and roll mod on my 2.4. What is rock and roll mod? To roll it over? It would be pretty cool. You're lucky you can rock and roll with Style Changer. I did all the tools will fall off. Oh shit, yeah. If you roll over the Style Changer, yeah, that would not be good. Yeah, so quick overview. So we have four 2040 extrusions, and these will be basically the base frame like this. There's one that has access hole here on the back, and that's the back one. Then we have, I tried my best to like clean all the aluminum shavings off, but seemingly I did not a good job. Then we have four, I forgot the length, but the long ones here, I think 49 millimeters, 490 millimeters. And these are the four corners. They all have two access holes on the bottom for the 24 extrusions. And then two have access holes a little bit lower, these two. And these two are the back ones. So these are basically here. So let me just put them to the back. And then these two are the front ones. And these have access holes, and I think, did I make a mistake? No, I did not. Let me quickly pull up Fusion again. Let's quickly, oh, we will use Fusion a lot here. Frame. Isolate the frame, please. Oh, there's one. Show all components, please. Show all bodies. Here we go. So this is the frame. This is what we're gonna build. So basically you have the four corners, and you see like the horizontal on the back, or like in the center here, are two on the side, and the back one is a little bit lower. And then we have tons of the straight of these parts. These are all the same, except for one that has again like an access hole. So this will be the back part here. I also set this one aside. And oh yeah, then there's one that's shorter that will be the center part here. So that kind of goes here. With that out of the way, I think we can just put that together. The tool heads stay in place. Even with the magnetic end heads, they still fall. I'm using N52 magnets. I mean, the tool head is quite heavy for little magnets. I think you would need like quite a lot of magnets. Okay, and these are the M6 by 12, I think, that we'll use for the blind joints. I would say let's just get going. I also quickly need to grab my engineering square. I didn't put it out yet. And Loki will, of course, inspect that every connection is proper square. Let's just quickly get these screws in here. I use 6 and 52 magnet most for the Dragon Buddha. 6 is a lot, yeah. And then you have to pull quite a bit to get them off, I guess. Okay, so that's the screws for the bottom. Let's just start with the front corner here. I need my engineering square. Otherwise, we will have a problem. And I also forgot to bring that. Usually, I like to have like I like to clamp the extrusion here to the front of the table. Uh, do I quickly want to grab, because it makes it a lot easier if we can pull it against it. And I think I quickly grab some quick release clamps. Yeah, I forgot it. Sorry. I'll grab them. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Sorry. So this is like how I usually do it. I take one of the extrusions and just clamp it to the front. Just put it left and right of my legs. The benefit is that now we can just push this towards the edge here. So if I can give a little bit more of the angle here. And that way we can just constrain it in this one direction already. Let's make sure to like get these in quite far before we start doing this. You think this is square looking? Does it look square to you? So basically I'm pushing this down. I need this. You can have it later. I'm pushing this down and I'm pulling it to the front. And I'm pushing it against. So I push down, front, and against. And then this should be pretty much locked in and square. Let's give this a quick check. And this is nice and square. It also feels flush. Let me do one thing. So this plate, I will shift it over that I can turn the Allen key here properly. So be a bit careful with my MacBook. This will make my life a lot easier. No thread locker. I never used thread locker in the frame. Do you use thread locker in the frame? We can use thread locker. Cat. Your paws have aluminium chisel in them. I think we will banish you for a second, and I will clean up the aluminium first. Let me quickly get the cat out. I don't want him to eat the aluminium pieces. Up, 1 second. Okay, I don't want him to eat the little aluminium shavings. And if he has them on his paws and everything, that's not good. I will have to clean up first. Okay. Bye, Loki. Yeah, you will be back later. Oh, hi there, Satsuma. I totally missed you. You did use Thread Locker. I think I mean on the 2.4 for sure didn't. Um, let's see. So let's repeat this basically in this direction. I'll just make sure to. But my trick with shifting this over doesn't work because now I have to do it on the opposite side. I maybe should have put that these extrusions under running water to wash off all these aluminium bits. That's not 100% straight. Let's try this again. Bit concerned that the end pieces are not 100% square. Yeah, I should have cleaned them under running water, I think. It would have helped a lot. And then other things like now I'm pulling it, and because 2040 I'm pulling the top top towards me. Let's use this random piece of 2040 I have lying around as the stop here on the front. I think that's better. No, it's also not quite. That must be perfect, otherwise we will have issues later on. Let's see. Make sure there's no dirt here. Well, it's not. Something doesn't line up, but I'm not sure yet what. Because if I just the problem is like if I put it here, you can see there's a little bit of wiggle. Same in the vertical. So it's a little bit off. I'm not quite sure why. Um, let's just try to like make the bottom square. And now we also need to pay attention which orientation we put these in. So the through hole here needs to face to the back. I had 80 teeth pulleys loose 2 times, even with thread locker on mine. The pulleys you should definitely use thread locker, but don't think on the frame you need. Okay, then this one needs to be the one without the hole, and then the last one on the back has to have the hole. As a general rule, thread locker is metal to metal, except for MGN carriages because they are is not too many threads. Well, I will stick for now with how I usually do it. There's also the Warren manual on 2.4, for example, doesn't specify thread locker for the frame. Yep, this is definitely not. This one is definitely not good. Yep, this is no bueno. The ends are square as far as I can tell. I think I checked that also before. Ends are fine. As always, each to their own. I don't like thread locker and would prefer to check craft screw when I service the printer. Yeah. I wonder what I do wrong right now. It's not squaring up. Something is not okay. I'm not sure if my threads are a problem. Let's go back to the initial corner here. Because so far it's okay. When we put this here, we start getting trouble. Yeah, as soon as I put this one here, something is off. And this one actually looks good. This actually looks good. This also looks good. So I think we have a problem here on this initial corner. Because here we have this like quite big play as well. So let me quickly redo this one. You checked the 90-degree plots. I didn't check all of them. I checked a few and then assumed they are all. But let's quickly check here the one that is problematic. But this looks good. Like this is flawless as far as I can tell. Also, this looks good. Let's maybe flip this around. Make sure there's no dirt. Looks good. This, they look pretty damn square to me. Yeah, now it's also square. Now we have a little bit of like lean. No, we don't. Okay. So potentially we have a problem with this side here. It looks pretty. As far as I can tell, it's perfect. Okay, so these are the two front ones. Let's add the back. And here we need to pay attention that the lower one, the lower access hole is facing this way. Yeah, this is good. Let's do the other vertical. And make sure we have the right orientation here as well. Smart person would have rotated this this plate here. Then I would have overhang for the Allen key on both sides. No, on this side, the lower one is a bit painful to rotate. Maybe we quickly switch that over. So far, so good. Yeah, let me quickly rotate that. I think that will make my job a bit easier. Also, the MacBook isn't like balancing on the corner as it is. Yep. See, that's making my life easier. I like this. And this is actually, so this is like an IKEA shelf thing. And they are super flat. Like I checked that. Like I used aluminum extrusion just to like compare, and this is like actually it's very, very flat. I mean it's engineered stuff. It's not like wood. It's like these like paper things. And yeah, like for 2.4 worked really well. The frame ended up very square. I later checked this frame on my stove. I have a glass top stove, and the glass top stoves are also very flat. So it's kind of like my reference. So this is like my on-stream thing because I don't want to stream in my kitchen. That's not really like possible. So this is like for during the stream, we have this makeshift thing, and later I'll validate the frame on my stove, and if needed, we'll tweak it a bit. That's a good sign that this fits perfectly. This is the rear. Just check these are aligned, these are aligned, and these are aligned. Yeah. So far, I think everything is where it's supposed to be. Hmm. I didn't make my life easier. The Allen key is too short. Kitchen reveal when? There's my kitchen. And there's my, where's my finger? My finger's there. There's my stove, and at the moment I parked the bamboo lab there. The bamboo lab usually lives here, but I need the space at the moment for this project. Really what, Steve? So far, so good. Just feel also that there's no like edges standing over. There's tiny bit here, so this might be a little bit like rotated. overall is quite good. Okay, then I think the best thing next would be to have the top ring. So let's just flip it over. That's a good test. That's good. So we need 4 of these. I'll do the same thing. I'll quickly like put the screws in. I was like really on the fence if I want a black frame or whether I want a silver frame. Ravenkeeper, who's also sometimes here on the streams, um, has a mini switch wire with silver frames, and I kind of found it quite sexy. But in the end, like I went for a classic black. You forgot the middle upriser. We don't have to add it yet, right? I would have first completed the frame here and then added these middle parts. Or do you think it's better to first add the middle parts? Oh, we have to add the middle parts first. Yeah, Steve, you're right. I can't slide the screws in afterwards. Yep, thanks. uh, I missed the first half hour of the stream. Maybe you said, but why? Where's Loki? Loki has a timeout right now, not because he did something wrong. He's the best boy ever. But there are like aluminium flakes here from the drilling of the frame, and I saw that he had them on his paw. And when he has these like aluminium bits on his paw, he will later lick the paw and like ingest the aluminium. So I don't want that. So I put him in the room for now. Um, Once I'm done here with the frame, he can come back. I just don't want him to eat the aluminium things. I should have made, or I should have done a better job cleaning them. I just used a brush to brush them off, but that clearly was not enough. Cat health over cat happiness in this case. The middle riser will. Yes, Steve, you're also right. Ah, shit. Yes, I of course have to put it in first. Yeah. Thanks for thinking for me, Steve. That means Loki has to stay in the room slightly bit, a little bit longer. I think he's just sleeping. This is the short one. And then I think maybe it's smart to already put the top one in as well, just like loosely. And we don't have any issues later. I hoped it would balance out, but it didn't. Okay. Well, it was so much fun. Let's do this again. Okay. Okay. That made no sense because we also need the screws here. Let's see how we manage this. Yeah, I think I have to completely slot it in first. Yep, I have to do this again. So we really have to like put this all in place already. So for now we have the problem we can't slide this one in here. It's a bit of a puzzle. Bit of a puzzle. I think the best approach would be to first put these three together. How about we do that? Let's put these three together. And as I mentioned in the beginning, this is the one blind joint I kind of screwed up. I don't think it's super important that this is like hypercenter. So I will just let it settle where it wants to settle. But let me use one of these quick release clamps to hold the engineering square here. Then I can focus on having this straight and flat. Okay, should have been it. Let's do like a very quick measure. So this is, well, no, it's a bit difficult to measure. 13.5. 13.4. So it's like half a millimeter too far this side. I don't think this is a problem. Question would be what is later connected there? Because I think there's nothing like crucially connected here. It's just like floating more or less. And if I reverse that and isolate electronics, so these green parts are later like connected. Let's try to make it perfect center. But I don't think I will have too much success with that, to be honest. Okay, let me put the engineering square on this side. So we're aiming like for 13.4.5, which is actually like I have to push the extrusion just all to this side. So let's just put the engineering square on this side here. And then we should be at the same as before. So okay, this is just, so it's half millimeter off center. I think this is not a concern. Then this one I will leave loose, so this can position itself a little bit. And then we can just slot this in. Oh, sorry, I forgot to switch back to the... Let's put this one back here. I kind of want to redo this connection here because I see there's a little bit of like a rotation here on the top part. Quickly want to loosen this one up again. Like not a lot, but okay, perfect. We learned lessons, so let's put these in. So I think here the position is a lot more important. Let's quickly check what is later mounted on these. I mean, here also the height is not super crucial because like it's just the top mount of the Z extrusion. So it's not super critical. These are exactly the same height. That would be like my takeaway here. It's also blind on the top here. It's a blind joint all the way through. So let me just do the following. We just connect this one here. It's just on the inside, this must be. Also, the absolute Yoda sentence. On the inside, that must be. Then we flip it over. Now we just need to make sure this is flat and aligned here. And this is fine. And then this one should also use the engineering square here. Okay, so let's quickly check what the height here is. Let's actually use caliper. So we just probe that here. I lock that in, and then we use this to have the same height on the other side. Before I do that, let's quickly check. This is level, or like square. This is 2. We are getting somewhere now. Then let's have the same height here. So this is the height we want. I use the square here. Bit of like a maneuver, but like we want this to be here. Double check. Yeah, so now basically the distance here is exactly the same, and we know it's a square if we push it against the engineering square here. I like using these quick release clamps. That actually makes it very easy. Mhm. No, for some reason, I didn't want to go. Okay, perfect. And let's also do the one here on the back. I will first tighten the middle one. Let's leave the middle one loose and do first the side. I think that's better. This is not square. Let's try this again. So the center is still loose. I have a feeling my access holes are not 1000% where they need to be. Okay, this is square now. This is also square. See if we can lock this in. Good. If I can get my arms out. And then this one is also square. I'll just try to tighten it. But yeah, so here the axis hole is not center. That is not good. So basically, I don't know how that happened. See, like it's not centered. I think this has to do with this one here. The bottom one is not good. That's what I mentioned, that this one I kind of screwed up a bit. I hope that doesn't bite me in the ass now. So here we have 13, 4.5. And here we have 13, 5.5. So it's like 1 millimeter off center. I don't think this is a problem per se if we can get it tightened. And the problem is that the answer to that is most likely not really. If you look from the top. Hello, Veronik. Do it focuses on that? Doesn't seem like it. It was too close. Where you see like the hole here is not properly drilled. Let's see what we can do. It's basically the top hole is not where it's supposed to be. We could try. It's aluminium, so it's quite soft. It's not like it's not missing like a lot. It's really not missing a lot. Like this, I can tighten it, but then it's not square most likely. No. And I don't want to tighten it not square because this can like kind of like mess with the rest of the frame. Let's do the following. Let me quickly undo that. We undo that properly. Let's get it out of the way. And then I think we will just re-drill this one. Let me quickly grab a drill. I'm right back. Hi there, Jonas. 1 second, I'll explain in a second. So, what is this, Jonas? This is a fun new project. Not sure if you remember the Poor Man Core XY. That one is no more. So I kind of gave up on that. And I wanted to reuse the parts for something, and this is the something. So this is the Satsuma 180. I always want to say Satsuma 180. For some reason, it's like in my brain. And it basically used the Prusa mini bat. It's a community mod and or like mod. It's a community design. And yeah, I kind of want to revive that a bit because the maintainer doesn't maintain it anymore. So I want to build it and then maybe like make some improvements if we get this like in here. So my goal is I will just like redrill this a little bit, make it like a little bit bigger, that the actual kind of like is where it needs to be. So I'll do something like naughty and like pull the drill a little bit. Now it's more like an axis oval than an axis hole. And hopefully if we now let me get a brush, 1 second. Sorry, I need to get a lot of stuff today. I'm gonna keep it somewhat clean here. As I mentioned before, like I saw like a little bit of like aluminum stuff on my cat's paw, and I don't like that. So he has to be in the room until we're done most likely. And then I'll clean up here, and I run the vacuum cleaner on the floor, and then hopefully it should be like cat safe again. Tough luck. He's a very painful and hard life sometimes. And before I tighten it down, let me quickly do like a measure that we are kind of like in line. Now it's perfectly 13.45. 13. Needs to be a little bit there. Again, like I don't think it's absolutely mission critical that this is like super center, so it's 13.4. 13.3. Oh, he is meowing now a little bit. So we need to push it a little bit over there. I'll just use this as an end stop here. Let's just use this. Let's measure again. 13.5. Yeah, it's still like a little bit off. It's just, I'm not sure if there's a better way to do this. Most likely there is. Do I know it? No. Now it's 13.5 here. Now we are a little bit too much there. Okay, I think I will just accept it because let's do one more attempt. No, now he's like very sad. He wants to be back on stream. But I first have to remove the aluminum flakes, otherwise he's not allowed here. Nope. Quite tight. Let's hope now it's as center as I want it to be. I just iterate between like too much one direction, too much the other direction. I will leave it. It's like ever so slightly off, but I don't think it matters. It's like half a millimeter too much in one direction. Yeah, still not straight, so it doesn't matter. For some reason, these access holes are not 100% where they're supposed to be. Now I put it quite tight again. The problem is it's also like quite hard to move this. I had both screws out too much a little bit, and then like it pressed. Okay, let's try this again. It's a bit of a hack job now. I'm just really trying to make it wider that we can position it. So I think the bottom one is what we should go by. The top one here should what we should go by. Yeah, but it's the same little bit off. But to be honest, if I can fix it in this orientation now, no, I still can't. Like, fuck it. I don't know why. Like something is. Let's do the following. Let's flip this over. Let's flip this over. I will tighten the outside screws again first. Also, that is squarely me. Like something went wrong when I drilled these holes. These two. I'm really sorry for Loki that he can't be here. Like he started meowing now in the other room. So I try to be quick now. So we can like free him from his prison. Yes, that did it. Which makes me wonder if my drilling jig is a bit off. Because both of them are like both extrusions top bottom are off in the same way. Okay, this is okay. Yeah, this is okay. But this is not okay. This is not okay. Yeah, it is okay. It is okay. We made it. So that's done all. And let's finish it up. And then let me quickly clean the table and then we can release the dragon. And I think he deserves some treats after this like horrible horrible experience. Steve, but runs on linear rails so long as they're straight. Oh, probably end of extrusion. Sorry, I was so focused on my extrusions, I missed the chat again. No, I think the end of the extrusion is fine. It's most likely really just me. It's if I blame anything, I always blame myself in this extrusion set thing because I drilled the the holes and I kept the threads. Yep, seems good. Yeah, I really sad that I didn't clean them properly. Then he could be here. Oh, I'm not tightening the screw. I was screwing it out. Oh, That's not a good sign. I have a tiny bit of wiggle here. This side is good. This also has a tiny bit of wiggle. Oh, I don't like that. Let me loosen these center extrusions here. I'm feeling they might be a little bit off, causing issues. That's why I want to first do the outer. Yeah, now it's gone. He's always looking salt. No, 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 no. He's an absolute angel most of the time. Sometimes he's not, but yeah, I'm really happy with him. Like I can't complain. Like he's an amazing cat. Sometimes he's annoying the living shit out of me, but this is part of his job description, I guess. Yeah, this was something with this one pulled it a little bit off. Also make it easier for myself and just use my right hand. Oh, that's not really a bit too far in. Yeah, all the other access holes are okay. It's just like this one pair that is off in the same way. So I think the jig I had was a bit of an issue there. Okay, so these are loose now. Yep. I think I've pushed it too far in one direction. It's not it. Yep, that's good. I'm not gonna height match these yet. No, I think it doesn't matter. Like it's just like the top mounting point for the Z rods. If that's half a millimeter higher or lower, it does not matter. That's it. It's also good. Also good. Also good. Also good. I think we can. We don't have to technically do this, but yeah, I think we have a square frame. I'm not gonna celebrate it too long. Let me quickly park that. This is a different extrusion. That was the spare one. Where's the extra extrusion? Let me quickly clean up. I really want to get the cat out of the room. I don't think that's really like fair to him because he was like such an angel and then he got like banished. Just want to make sure that I have most of the aluminium shavings. So just really don't want him to ingest these aluminium shavings. I don't think that's the most healthy thing for him. It's most likely they go in on one end and come out on the other end, but he just had quite a bunch on his paws. Okay. Let me quickly also brush this one down. Sorry. It's kind of what I did before, but not super successful seemingly. Yeah. A couple more come out. Okay. Cool. Let me release the prisoner. 1 second. I hope he's not too sad. Hmm? Want to inspect the frame? Did I do good? Time for some treats. Shall we show off? Show off. Sit. Sit. High five. Lucky. High five. Here you go. We were like training a bit the last weeks. We are now at high five. You deserve to. Yep. High five. Hey. High five. There you go. Yeah, he's a good boy. Hmm. You want one more? Yeah. For this one, you have to run. Ready? Come on, you saw that one. Okay. Because you were in the room for half an hour, I'll let this one slide here. Okay, cool. So there are a couple of like scratches on the frame. It's like if you rub them, it goes away. It's like from the aluminium. So I will just use like the rough side of a sponge and just like brush this down after stream. Um, and then it will look like nice and shiny. Um, I think what I also do, I like kind of like this from 2.4. I will add like felt gliders on the bottom. It's like a little bit nicer to like move over the table. Yeah, I don't have any more. Yeah, he needs now a bit of attention after this like horrible, horrible time alone. Yeah, so I think the next step would technically be the Z. So if I quickly go to home. So the Z drive, there was the Z axis here. So let me quickly isolate that. So this is more or less the Z drive. So we have left and right one motor. On the original design, both of these motors are driven by one stepper. We will use a different mainboard than the Pusha Mini mainboard, of course. So we can also run these two steppers individually and get like bad tramming. So it's not like a 3-point tramming as on the Trident, for example. But still, it's like quite nice that you have that bad tilt fix. So the parts we need. I think I printed all. Looking at that, they look all familiar. So what we could do, potentially, is at least mount the motors. No, the motors I don't have yet. I don't have these like little green mounting points. We do have the rods though. I think we can mount the 4 rods. That's something we can do for sure. Let's give him like another minute. After this like traumatic experience being excluded from the stream. He's like looking forward to the stream the entire week because he knows he can like do a lot of mischief during the stream. It's like his opportunity to like shine. Hmm? Can we continue building? What do you think? Yeah, I think so. There's still a treat in the hallway, if you would get that. Okay, so I also don't want to build up too much yet, actually, because I still want to check this later in the kitchen to double check that the frame is square. Now here on this table, it's like 100% not, but this is the table. I know that it's the table. Oh, he's finding the treat. Okay, cool. Let's look through the printer parts. And there's a lot of printed parts in this machine. Oh, yeah, I actually printed 3 of these already in, and this is also the color for the Z drive. So you can compare it. This is black and this is candy smoke gray. and it's a little bit translucent. But we won't use these because they are all having these like weird, like wavy lines here. It's I really don't know what happened there. And these are the three matte black ones. Four that we will be using. Just kind of park them on the side. Then these are the parts for the back. So it's like the backpack basically. And then somewhere in here we have a lot of Z parts. I didn't sort it yet, but I've done it. So these are two motor mounts, and that's also in Candy Smoke Gray. And then we have like random LED parts. That's always handy. But I'm looking for these parts. So these are the top mounts for the Z rods. We have two. Three. Oh, and these are the parts for the bed mount. And looking at this, these are like two halves that are pulled together. So we can also install the rods and like later put this around that. So that is very handy. I think we also need those. Where do those go? Ah, yeah, these are for the bottom. Collected. And these are also parts we need. So we have still his favorite. He really has to play with it here. Like this is like a crucial requirement to play on stream. He needs to show off how cool his little toy is. Here's another one of these. So we have 3, 3, 2, 4. Yeah, and these Galaxy Black parts, like some are nice, but some are like weird. It's not a fan of this filament. Oh, and I also remember we need these little like tiny spacers. Oh, I did print. These are the little parts for the motor. Let's also take these out. That's the arm for the back. Later, there is another one of these. These are the motor part. There's the fourth one of this. Means. Oh, careful. No, there's a different one. No. Don't. I just told everyone you're like a good kitty. I just told everyone you're a good kitty. Don't start messing things like this. Another one of these. I'm basically only looking for like one. Oh, one more of these. Yeah, I just have in my hand. That's 4, 4, 1 missing. Cool. I think this is all we need to mount. Oh, we also need these accent parts. These 4 and these 4. And green is easy to spot. Or this one. And there it is. That should be all. That should be all. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if we install all of that today, but I would say let's start at least with the rods. And Kitty, you are very drawn to these small parts, I know. Do you want to count them for me? Don't eat them. Let me put them in a bag, because otherwise... Hey, you can have this part. You want this part? This part? No? I know you want the parts I actually need. That's obvious. Okay. Oh, these we also need. There are like 4 spacers, and they go looking at fusion. Did you dry the filament? Yes, I dried everything. 15 quadrillion hours. I can literally dry it for like 2 full days or something like that. Yeah, see here, these like little like knots. This is what I have here. So there need to be 4 more, 3 more. I dried it like really well. It was old in a certain sense. Like I had it for like 1.5 years or 2. Um, so it was old, but the quality I got is also it matched what somebody else described on the Discord. I think I'm missing these like spacers. Cactus, maybe. Red, no, not. I think I missed one. There's one, but yeah, I don't have them. Okay, then we come to the rods, then let's mount the motors. Let's do that. I have super small parts. What it is, what it is. Let's mount the motors. So we need the motor mounts, and these parts I move here. And I fully trust Loki to knock them off the table. Okay, first part to be mounted. Let's quickly see how these are mounted. Can you not eat the... Come on, cat. Off he goes. He has like this obsession with brushes. And now he's eating the brass brush, which is maybe not the nicest. What is this? Find in browser. This is a M5 by 12. But it's not modeled how they are in there. I didn't notice that before. So I think we are missing like a lot of M5 T-nuts. Yeah, I think I missed them. Luckily, I have quite a bunch, so we can use those. Let me get the... I have to sneeze. Yeah, I'm gonna sneeze. Let me put these parts in here. So they're somewhat cat safe. And then I think the best thing here to do is like hammerhead nuts. No questions. Do I have five hammerhead nuts? These are M4. These are M5. Okay, that's something we could use. Let's just use these. Careful. I recall I have too many of them anyways. I think I have like an extra pack. Oh, these are M4. Unfortunate. Okay, let's use them. I will order like a whole bunch of hammerhead nuts. Because I totally missed that. It's also like very excessively mounted. Do we really need 9 screws to mount this? It's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I feel like that's a bit overkill. But let's roll with it. Okay, I'll just use this as a template here to move all of them in the correct position. Okay. Yet I need the screws. And most of the mounting here happens with M5 by 12s. Let me just cut like a corner. Don't eat it. And then just loosely put in here that we can move it around. No, I think this one is not fully in. Yeah, this is tilted a bit. Let's just say this is motor will not fly off. Position wise, if I also, I think it's easier if I show, oh yeah, I have to prepare it actually. It's a little bit misaligned now, size wise, but you see fusion there on the side. So I also want to show the frame. Like, how do we position this? So from the front side, Can I get the surface there maybe? From the front side. To the side here. It's 60 millimeters. Nine, 59.99 should be good enough. Yeah, this is good. It's a bummer knowing that the hammerheads or the T-nuts are not like in the fusion, because like I count literally every single screw, and I always ordered like a couple more, of course. But it didn't cross my mind that we need extra stuff here. Okay, this is one side. We still have to add a quadrillion. Yeah, I think we don't get a lot shorter actually because I'm running out of these M5 hammerhead nuts. I'll order some for next week. And I also Sunday I reserved lots of time to like also look at the 2.4, making sure I can print the rest of the filament. At least the Z drive, looking or seeing what we have, if I print these like three teeny tiny parts, like we should have enough to mount the full Z drive. That should keep us busy also like for next stream. Yeah, clamp on this printer. I really don't think you need 9 screws for this. I think if you do like 6 would be more than sufficient. Hey, no. If the camera goes out in a second, then he bit through the HDMI cable. Loki, hey. Okay. He's eating the Velcro of the HDMI cable. He can eat the Velcro, I don't care. I'm back. Holy shit. Tech broken. It took me 45 minutes to finally be able to get into Battlefield 6. Oh, the beta stuff? I totally missed that. I was so disappointed by 2042 that I completely disconnected from Battlefield. I don't know. They really lost me. They really lost me. But yeah, Battlefield broken, that's not something new, right? That is not something new. Very cool. Wanted to build 9 of these for a long time. Why 9? 9 is a lot. Enable Windows Secure Boot, some random network reset stuff, permission, anti-cheat. Wow, it's a full list. Oh, you managed. Congrats. Second weekend. This version is much better apparently. Well, you still struggled. I was actually playing Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 the entire time when 2042 was out. But I also like didn't play for like at least half a year now. Yeah, it's I get tricked by this every time. The table is not straight, so now it's wobbly. Cool. But yeah, I think this is how far we get because now we have literally like 3 of the nuts left. I think I have more somewhere, but I need to check. But I think this is like quite a good spot. Technically, we can put. Technically, we can put the motors in. Oh, but by the way, this is an important thing. I totally forgot. You need the low motors for that here. And let's also quickly check which orientation do the motors face. Do they have a modeled plug? Do they have a modeled plug? Oh yeah, interesting. The plug faces outwards. Okay, interesting choice. Let's do the same. So we face the plug outwards. Now we need 4 of these green parts. They have a little notch. I wonder if the notch. Step by step. Oh, the notch faces up and it's kind of like supposed to align with the notch here. Okay, it's like a little like scale. Let me just put it in here. Like just a little tiny notch. You see it in the model. And we use find in browser M330s. Let's do the same here. Just cut like a little corner out of this big bag. It's M330. No, it's not M330. It's way too long. It's not a 30. It's an M340. Wait, 0? No, this is a 30. But I think my motors will not work with 30s. Because they bottom out way earlier. This is like how far they go in. So we need a different screw here. Let me put these back. Let me put that back. Let me see. Let me get rid of this one. There's another one of these screws. So I think we're looking more like M3. Hey! No. No! Off the laptop. You're getting way too active now. Your good kitty status is in danger. Careful. I think these are much better. M316. Oh no, they are too short. M316 is too short. What else do I have on offer? I have M322. Oop, careful. That was not elegant. You're on camera. 22 is too long. I also have on offer M318. That can't be. Right. So 18 is too short. 18 is way too short. Then what I just had can't be a 22. Oh, come on. But then this can't be a 22. I don't think these are 22s. They look way too long for 22s. I think something is mixed up here. These look like 22s. Hey! No, this is not an eating plant. He's, I'm bored, entertain me face. These are too short. Yep. Okay, I'm not quite sure. Like, these are too short, the other ones are too long. No, these are definitely 14s. If you eat this plant one more time, you go back to the room. I tell you that. You know you're not allowed to eat that. These are 20, 24, 25 millimeter. So something between 16 and 25, which I don't have. That's a shame. Okay, then I don't have fitting screws here. I also need to order screws. Interesting. It's like you always think you have everything, and then like you need one thing. We have some more 16s, 25. That doesn't look good. I don't think I have screws. Okay. Then I think that is a good sign with cat getting like naughty, and we don't have the screws nor the nuts. It's not a good start because I thought I really have everything. Um, so seemingly these motors, like the thread is just very, very shallow. Like this is how far the thread goes. Like it's very, very, very shallow. So I need 20s most likely, M320. And I will order those. Oh, the form screws, that's a good one. But it needs to be countersunk. Needs to be countersunk. I don't think the form has countersunk. They have only 16 here. So I'm way too short. $12. Doesn't look good. No. Nope, they don't. Because it needs to be like the countersunk head, like this head shape. Because the parts here expect the countersunk head. So even if there's an M320 in there, for sure it's a socket head. Because all the screws in here basically are socket head screws. So I don't think... These are all my countersunk head screws. So if it's not in there, I don't have any. Okay. I will quadruple check the cat. Because I mean I have these screws. I have these screws, but they don't fit my motors, which is like unfortunate. But then the learning is in the cut, like the screws that go into the extrusion are missing the nuts, which means I didn't order these nuts. So it's also something I need to check. So that's on my list. And my primary goal will also be to continue printing the parts. Although for that we have everything. So next time when I have the screws, we can for sure do the Z drives. And hopefully by then I can also print the rest of the parts. Like it's not a lot of printing left. It's like 3 plates on a 2.4. I just need to print them without clogging. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I also don't want to like put too much stuff on the frame yet. So it's actually quite good if we don't do too much because I still want to check that on my ceramic cooktop field. Yeah, ceramic cooking thingy. That we quadruple check everything is nice and square. I think this is pretty good. Like we started a project. We have the frame, which I'm very happy it fits together. Like I was really concerned about that because there was like a little bit of manual labor involved from my side, and it looks neat. Like if I scrub it down a little bit, for sure. And yeah, I think it's a good start. Except that we are missing screws. um, cool. Then I would say it's a good start in the weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Here it's the last sunny weekend for the next, most likely summer. So I'll make sure to enjoy that and see you next week. Bye.